Well, it's time for another BaltimoreHourly.com video. Remember, check out BaltimoreHourly.com. Spread the word about our YouTube channel and about our Twitter feed. And hopefully we'll be doing some more videos soon enough. I've been quite busy lately, but there's been a lot of stuff in the news. So let's talk about, I guess around Thanksgiving, the news came out that the NFL is going to hear Ray Rice's case again or whatever. And my God, you should have read the reaction on Facebook in the Baltimore crime and murder Facebook, I don't know what it's called, but it's a very large Facebook group that talks about Baltimore crime. And it was like, glory, glory, hallelujah. Ray Rice is our hero. You know, oh, thank God they're giving him another choice, another chance. I mean, it meant so much to people. Like it was their son. Like he's their son. He's not our son. He's not even from Baltimore. He's a millionaire. I mean, his life is totally different than ours. Who cares? Why are people living vicariously through him? I mean, this is what the problem with the United States is today. You have all these people who don't want to live their own lives. They want to live through other people's lives. And it means so much. It hurts them so much when one of their heroes is taken down, or when they're told, you know, you need to protest. You need to be offended by this. I mean, there are all these useless idiots out there. Another word for useless idiot, it seems like, is voter, basically. I mean, these are the same people who, you know, are obsessed with, you know, what's going on with Ray Rice, that decide who vote for Frank Conway Jr. Basically, they don't know Frank Conway Jr. is insane, but they'll tell you every little aspect about Ray Rice. Screw Ray Rice. Screw Ray Rice. I don't care. I don't care. Neither should you. Don't fall into the trap where your news source is like Entertainment Tonight or something. It's embarrassing for Baltimore. It's embarrassing for America, actually. So that's a little commentary on that. But there's obviously much more to life in Baltimore than what's going on with Ray Rice. People are talking about their schools, Baltimore City schools, for a while. A lot of them have been slated to be closed. And because, guess what? The population's gone down. Not as many people go to these schools anymore. People don't want to send even the people who live in Baltimore don't want to send their kids to these public schools. So it doesn't make economic sense to keep so many of them open. But then you have these people who protest. How can you take this away from our neighborhood? We need this school. I mean, so many of the schools in Baltimore are horrible. And if a school is slated to be shut down, trust me, it's bad. It's bad, and it doesn't have that many people, kids of kid age, that can go to this school, of high school age or middle school age, whoever they're supposed to go to this school. So I mean, I don't know the specific names of the schools that are even protesting. I think there's some that are near Lake Montebello. I don't know. But guess what? You can't always get what you want. The state and city only have limited funds. Come on, people. I mean, and then we're talking about State Center also, which is just another. They want to knock down the State Center building, build a whole new State Center with other amenities, and private is going to get involved, and you know, and people in Bolton Hill want it so much because it's going to help Bolton Hill, and you know, the state workers who work in State Center deserve a older than 50-year-old a newer than 50-year-old building, but their building's in terrible shape apparently. Who cares about the state workers? They don't work, okay? They don't do anything in there. I've been in one of those buildings before. It wasn't that bad. I could work in there, but they don't actually work. So we're talking, I mean, so much money for this. And people are saying we don't have enough money to do all this. Again, I agree. I'm sorry, Bolton Hill people. I like you guys. But there's not enough money. Again, there's not enough money to keep these schools open. There's not enough money for State Center. There's not enough money for so many things out there. Now, of course, We could fire a lot of state workers, a lot of city workers. We would have some more money. Still, I don't think we'd have enough money for all of these frivolous projects. And by the way, these projects, part of the reason they're so expensive is because you have to pay a certain amount. There has to be certain contractors. There has to be certain research. There has to be certain reports that lead up to it. All this waste. The public sector is so filled, infested with waste. And again, the results you see in Baltimore. I mean, you see it with your own eyes. And so now we're going to have a Republican governor, and I think in some ways that's sort of good. I mean, he's not going to just throw money at Baltimore wildly. And at the same time, I think Baltimore can prioritize some projects and, in a logical way, go to the state, go to the governor and say, okay, you know what, let's make some of these projects smaller, more efficient, and this is why it's going to benefit Baltimore, and this is why it's going to benefit the state. I mean, I'm talking specifically the red line here. Of all the things I've talked about today, I don't think there should be any schools at all, by the way. I don't think there should be public schools. They're horrible. I don't think there should be state center, I'll tell you that. I mean, that's a complete waste. They should blow it up, just make a park there. That would be nice, or sell it to someone, and they can have a private something there. Now, I wish private people could fund their own subways, but unfortunately, there's all these regulations. So right now, the red line is they want it to be a light rail and go out to Security Square, whatever, Social Security, whatever you want to call it out there. For me, if someone were to present, and there's some smart guys out there that post on the Baltimore Brew, just logical ways of using money more efficiently for a public transportation line that's actually going to connect things, and that wouldn't be a light rail, but would actually be a heavy rail, be a subway. You bring that to the governor. Bring that and say, you know what, this is the one thing we want. Because guess what? The governor, even though he didn't do very well in Baltimore City, he's still going to want to do something for Baltimore City. That's just the way politics works, unfortunately. They want to do something for, it's all about scratching someone's back. But, playing the political game, which I don't like to play, the red line is something that can be more efficient. People in Baltimore would be happy if it were brought here and connected different subway lines, and it's a win-win for everyone, I think, if it costs less money, and the governor could say, I did this for you, and then the people of Baltimore City would like the governor or whatever. They probably wouldn't, but so there's one thing. What else here do I have written down on my? The city paper also had an article that talked about all of the big government projects. It's a new deal for Baltimore. And I guess I already glanced over this. They mentioned the red line. They mentioned the state center. Again, all the things they mentioned, the red line is the most important. The red line could be more efficient. And again, I guess I'm saying if we're going to have state projects, government projects, the red line is one that I think could be nice to have if it connected everything, if it cost less money, and if, most important, if it's a subway, not a light rail, because actually our subway is it's good. It's good. When it runs, it's good. It doesn't. People are like, it doesn't take you anywhere. Well, it whatever. And they could expand that line in other directions. I mean, I've read all sorts of different things. Just get some creative people in there. You don't have to pay them insane amount of money, and they'll give you a great plan from the private sector. So again, we need to stop the celebrity worship, because celebrity worship, like Ray Rice, only leads to political worship, only leads to these guys can do no wrong, like Robert Kern, he can do no wrong. I mean, the things that Robert Kern is doing now, some of the articles, they're not illegal. He got his friends a liquor license or whatever. That's not illegal, but, I mean, it's shady stuff, and we just let all these shady things slip by. So let's stop shady government business. Let's be more efficient. And visit BaltimoreHourly.com. That is all for today.